In early 2026, Iran finds itself under immense pressure: economic hardship, currency collapse, rising inflation, and nationwide protests shaking the foundations of the state. But Iranian authorities say what the world is witnessing is not just domestic unrest. They claim it is something far more dangerous: a coordinated foreign backed destabilization campaign involving US made weapons, explosive devices, Starlink surveillance tools, and covert infiltration through neighboring Pakistan. According to Tehran, this is not a protest movement, it is a shadow war. Hello and welcome back to TFI Global. On January 13, 2026, Iran's Ministry of Intelligence made a dramatic announcement. Security forces, it said, had discovered and seized US manufactured firearms, ammunition, components for improvised explosive devices, and more than 200 kilograms of high grade explosives hidden inside residential properties across multiple Iranian provinces. State officials described the discovery as evidence of organized terrorist cells, allegedly backed and directed by the United States and Israel. These were not isolated weapons, Iranian intelligence claims; they were stockpiles. Authorities allege the cells were preparing assassinations, infrastructure sabotage, and violent acts designed to exploit public anger over inflation and economic hardship, pushing the country towards chaos. International outlets including Al Jazeera, Bloomberg also reported the claim. Perhaps the most controversial element of Iran's claim is the alleged route of infiltration. Iranian intelligence states that the suspected groups entered the country from Pakistan, crossing near the southeastern city of Zahedan, a region long known for smuggling networks and porous borders. Tehran accuses Pakistan of actively enabling these operations, either directly or by turning a blind eye. The accusation strikes at the heart of Pakistan's public image. Pakistan frequently speaks of Islamic Ummah and Islamic Brotherhood, yet Iran and its supporters argue that Pakistan has repeatedly betrayed the neighboring Muslim nations. First, by supporting US military operations in Afghanistan, operations that resulted in the deaths of countless Afghans. Then, by continuing cross border actions against Afghanistan allegedly in line with US strategic interests. And now, Iran claims the same pattern is being repeated, this time against Tehran. Iranian commentators describe Pakistan as a military dominated vassal state, acting as a foot soldier for the CIA and Mossad. But suspicion is deep, especially as Pakistan stands largely isolated while most Gulf nations have opposed US and Israeli military actions against Iran. Alongside weapons and explosives, Iranian authorities point to another crucial element: the Starlink satellite internet equipment. Since June 2025, possession of Starlink devices inside Iran has been criminalized under espionage laws with severe penalties. Iran claims it has seized a huge shipment of Starlink terminals allegedly smuggled illegally through Pakistan. Starlink has been widely used during protests to bypass state internet controls, allowing real time coordination and global media exposure. But Tehran views Starlink not as a neutral tool, but as a foreign intelligence asset. Iranian officials argue that Starlink enables surveillance, coordination of unrest, and narrative warfare, especially during periods of instability. In early January 2026, Iran deployed electronic warfare systems to jam satellite signals. Soon after, internet blackouts followed. According to Iranian state media, once Starlink connectivity was disrupted, protest activity sharply declined. Even more striking, authorities claim public rallies shifted from anti government protests to demonstrations against foreign interference. Iranian officials insist that much of the unrest was artificially amplified. They claim CIA and Mossad operatives posed as protesters, escalating violence and attempting to transform economic anger into regime collapse. Some US officials have openly spoken about supporting Iranian freedom movements, while Israeli figures have hinted at covert operations inside Iran. Critics argue Tehran is deflecting the blame. But history shows that foreign intelligence agencies have repeatedly exploited genuine grievances, from Libya to Syria to Ukraine. These two realities can coexist. Yes, Iranians are suffering from inflation, unemployment, and corruption. And yes, foreign actors may attempt to weaponize that suffering. There is little dispute about Iran's internal struggles. Inflation has crushed purchasing power, the currency has collapsed, and ordinary Iranians are under immense strain. But Iranian society is not monolithic. While some protesters call for radical change, many explicitly reject foreign backed alternatives. Even Israeli newspapers have acknowledged a critical point. Reza Pahlavi, whom Israel and US presenting as Khamenei option, is deeply unpopular inside Iran. To many Iranians, replacing one authoritarian system with another, installed or supported by foreign powers, is not liberation. It is repetition. Iranians increasingly voice a clear demand. We want change, but on our own terms. Not imposed by Washington, not engineered in Tel Aviv, and not smuggled through neighboring borders. A revealing aspect of this crisis is the regional response. Most Gulf nations, including Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar, and Oman, have opposed direct military action against Iran. They fear regional destabilization, economic shockwaves, and war spreading across the Middle East. Pakistan, by contrast, is accused by Iran of playing a very different role. This contrast fuels Tehran's narrative that Pakistan has become an outlier, a military state prioritizing strategic alignment with Western powers over regional stability or Islamic solidarity. Iran today stands at the intersection of internal crisis and external pressure. Its people are suffering, economically and politically. But one message is becoming clear: Iranians do not want foreign interference disguised as freedom. Weapons smuggled into homes, satellite networks used during unrest, covert cells crossing borders. These do not empower people, they turn nations into battlegrounds. Whether or not every claim made by Iranian intelligence can be independently verified, the broader issue remains undeniable. A nation has the right to choose its own future. Not through CIA playbooks, not through Mossad operations, and not through proxy states acting as corridors of destabilization. Iran's struggle is not just about protests, it is about sovereignty, dignity, and self determination. And in the end, Iranian people are saying something the world should listen to. Change must come from within, not from the shadows of foreign power. Thanks for watching.